So here you see me about 9 years ago starting this video on these Brock paver panels that I use for my patio. Pretty funny, but this video is 9 years in the making, and I think I can show you now what the result is. Rectangles, and they weigh just a little over a pound each. So I started making my first YouTube video 9 years ago, and today I'm going to finish it. So it was never published, but I built this patio on our back door in our backyard, and instead of using paver base, which comes in very heavy bags and you would need a ton of it, I used these Brock panels which go under. There's still a lot of work involved, but this makes the job much easier. I'll do a little cost comparison there too before we're finished, but the point here is that 9 years into this, I'm very pleased with the patio. It has held up very well, and it has aged, and it needs a couple of refreshers, but nothing to do with this. It has held its form very well, and this has been a great place for our family to spend time, and I'm very happy with the project overall. Briefly, here's my patio area. I've already dug out, but roughly just deep enough to lay the things I need to lay, instead of digging out 5 inches for a typical patio installation. I've only had to dig out about 1 inch on my high side because I have a slope. I actually had to fill in a little bit on the low side, but in general I've had to do very little digging compared to what I would have had to do if I were filling in with paver base. So here you see I've completed the next step, which was laying the ground cover, the landscaping fabric. Here you can see I've laid a few of the Brock pavers on top of my sand. So as I work on these, part of this was just seeing if I had the right layout, and I've still got to add some sand. Okay, so here we have the pavers laid out, basically. Here I've got a little over half of the pavers laid. This is how they are going down on the Brock paver base. It's really they're very easy to get lined up. Instead of setting them in sand and having to adjust each brick, they really fall into place quite easily. Only where I've had brick coming up against brick, where I've built an edge, have I had to actually use my mallet to make them go in. So I got my Brock paver panels from Lowe's. I also had stuff delivered from there. Certainly getting their delivery with something like pavers is worth the money, but the pavers and the sand and some paver base and some fabric and these, along with a couple other tools, and then polymetric sand for a project like this. I'm not telling you how to do the project, I'm just telling you that it has held up really well. My old video is a bit comical in ways. That was shot with a camcorder and pretty rough, but you know, it was 9 years ago, and that's probably 15-year-old technology. So here's an overall view of what the patio looks like today, and I am very pleased with it. So the important thing for you to note is that the pavers have kept their form. They have stayed in place, and they're still very even as they were originally laid 9 years ago. And so what this tells me is that the Brock base was really a good choice to use. Now, the patio needs a little updating. It could use a power wash and some new polymetric sand in between the pavers today. But otherwise, it is in great shape, and it's been a very great addition to our house. And let's talk about the price just a little bit. So what do you get for what you pay? I think you get more for what you pay. So the cost at Lowe's for these panels is about $13 per panel. So I estimate this project today, it would cost about $450 for the Brock panels. Now, the paver base would actually cost, I think, more, and of course then you have to carry it around. It's very difficult, very heavy, and a lot of work. So I will choose the Brock, and I would totally do it again. Hope this video was helpful about these Brock paver base panels. This is the last remnant in my garage.